So today we're going to bake cupcakes and make fondant Braille fortune cookies. It's actually a lot easier than you might think. Fondant's just like working with Play-Doh. It's very forgiving. Inside of the fortune cookie, I'm holding one in my hands. The message is in Braille. You rip it apart, reveal the Braille, and on the outside of the cupcake paper is going to be the alphabet. So then your friends could decode the letters one at a time. So today I'm going to show you 3 things: how to make fondant Braille fortune cookies, how to write the Braille messages, and then how to make a wacky cake. So first up is the fondant. It's actually really easy to make, and I think it's yummy because it just tastes like marshmallows. The fondant has 3 ingredients: mini marshmallows, water, and powdered sugar. So I'm just going to throw the water and the marshmallows in the microwave and melt them down. So at this point I wouldn't touch the marshmallows directly with my hands because it's super hot, but in a minute we're going to start mixing it straight on the counter. We're going to knead it like bread. So I think homemade fondant's really yummy because it's my favorite junk food, which is marshmallows. So I'm just going to keep adding in powdered sugar until it has the consistency of Play-Doh. You don't want it too sticky, otherwise it's not going to hold the right shape for the fortune cookie. It's just going to collapse on itself. So now is a good time to add in food coloring and flavoring, like if you wanted to put in like raspberry flavoring. And I'm going to transfer it onto the counter and start kneading it until it's the consistency I'm going for, which I said before, I'm going for Play-Doh. So now we're rolling out the fondant. I put down some powdered sugar on the counter to prevent the fondant from sticking, and I'm also making it a point to pick up the fondant from the counter every couple times I roll over it. So we're going for about 1/8 of an inch of thickness. And I'm going to use a drinking glass for a cookie cutter to cut out the circles. But first I'm going to smooth out all of the powdered sugar that's on top of the fondant because I don't want that to show up on the fortune cookies. So I'm going to cut out however many circles that I need for making fortune cookies. I'm putting 1 per cupcake. So the moment you've been waiting for, let me show you how to fold a fortune cookie. Take your circle. If you have any ratty edges like I do, just go ahead and smush those so they look a little neater. So right after this, I'm going to show you how to make the Braille fortune, so be sure to stick around. So put the Braille fortune in the middle of the circle, fold it in half like a taco, and then put the middle of the taco on the rim of the mug and fold it in half so that the 2 ends touch. And there you go. So this is a Braille typewriter. This is a Perkins Brailler. I numbered the keys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those correspond to the 6 dots in the Braille cell. So you can write all letters and numbers using a combination of those 6 dots. To load the paper, you want to roll those knobs on the outside away from you. The paper lock lever needs to be towards you. Go ahead and insert the paper and put the paper lock away from you and roll the knobs towards yourself. So you notice those are opposite, and you're feeding the paper inside of the machine. And then go ahead and advance the line twice, and that locks everything in place. You're ready to go. So this is really, really good practice for writing the alphabet. So if you're still learning the alphabet, after you write this out, 24 times for your 24 cupcakes, you're gonna have this down. So just take your time and just focus on what you're doing, because you want these to be perfect. So on the screen, I'm just going through the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and in my mind, I'm saying A1, B12, C14, so I'm memorizing the letter with the dot numbers. And that'll make it so much easier in the future when you start to learn more Braille signs and they're mirrors of each other. And then you get to write the fortune for your friends. I found that 1 word fits really well, but maybe you could try writing 2 and folding the paper in half. So here on the screen, I'm writing the word adventure. So I've got the cupcake paper all decorated. I have the alphabet in print and in Braille, so that way if the person who's decoding the message doesn't know Braille, they will be introduced to it this way. And then for the fortune, I cut a notch in the top right-hand corner so that way people know which way is up for their message. So up next, we're gonna make our wacky cake. I only call it wacky because they are flavors that I haven't tried daily before, and I just spoiler alert, they turned out really, really good. So it is a black sesame and chocolate cupcake with ginger frosting. I just toasted the sesames to bring out the flavor, and then I'm putting them in a coffee grinder to make them into a powder. And now I'm going to melt the chocolate in the microwave, and I'll add that to the batter. So these cupcakes are going to be more of like a chocolate lava cake. So mixing the chocolate into the batter, adding some hot water, dumping in the powdered black sesame seeds. So I just wanted to show you this because it's such an unusual looking batter, and it ends up having the consistency of coffee, but it turns out tasting incredible. It's molten chocolate with a strong sesame flavor taste. So there we go. I was expecting to turn out more black. They're kind of just dark brown, but that's okay. So now I'm making the frosting, and this is where everything just falls apart. I don't know it at the time. I've got powdered sugar, butter, almond milk, fresh ginger, some vanilla, and some powdered ginger. Just gonna blend that all up, and that's my frosting. So there we go. These are my finished cupcakes. They're kind of a mess. The frosting decided to melt, and that's why I'm calling this a fail, because presentation-wise, they don't look super cute. But I made miniature little fortunes. I have baby ones. I have mommy-sized fortune cookies, and I used the black sesame seeds as sprinkles. So it's a really fun project for practicing the alphabet, or if you want to introduce Braille to your friends. You wouldn't know how delicious these taste because they're a hot mess. The frosting has decided to melt, and I have no idea why. So, good thing this is not a cooking channel. This is a Braille channel where I give you ideas on fun ways to practice Braille. So, if you want, check out my next video. I succeed in making a Braille chocolate bar. Check it out.